Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching our videos. So today's video, we are going to talk about saliva. Saliva is a secretion in the oral cavity, and we are going to talk about the salivary glands, the composition of saliva, the properties, and the stimulation. Saliva is produced by salivary glands. What are these salivary glands? Salivary glands, we have the major and the minor salivary glands. This is after stimulation. When you smell food, a smell of food is somewhere, or something you like, or any food, you're going to stimulate the production of saliva. When you taste food in your oral cavity, sometimes you're hungry and you think you need to eat food. Just the thought of food. Even the presence of food in the oral cavity is going to lead to stimulation of saliva. Where is this saliva coming from? We said there are major salivary glands and minor salivary glands. We have major salivary glands. For example, the parotid. We have the submandibular and also what? Sublingual. Where are they found? The submandibular is just found under. Of course, in the oral cavity, we have the tongue. This just under the tongue, we have the sublingual glands with the duct pouring in the oral cavity. We have the submandibular glands with the duct. It means secretes in what? Also in the oral cavity. We have the bilateral, meaning both sides, left and right, parotid gland. This is the biggest salivary gland and is a major salivary gland. It produces 25% of our saliva. The ones which produces a highest amount of saliva is sublingual gland. Submandibular gland, 75%. And the 5%, what? Sublingual. Sublingual gland. We also have some other minor glands. For example, the buccal gland. These are so many, and they are found in the oral cavity, just in the mucosa. We have the buccal gland, the labial, the grossopalatine, the lingual, and others. But what we need to know is, what is the composition of this saliva? Majorly, saliva is made up of water. More than 99%, or you can say 99.5% of it is water. The solid part is 0.9, and you can have inorganic and organic. Under the inorganic part, of course, we shall have salts or minerals. We have sodium, calcium, fluoride, potassium, bicarbonates, and phosphates. These ones are equally important. We have under organic part, where we have amylase, the enzymes. You know the importance of amylase in the digestion of carbohydrates. We have amylase, we have lipase, we have maltase, we have carbonic anhydrase, we have lysosomes here, we have proteins, we have urea, we have antigens, IgA. Objective questions can come here. IgA, remember, it is in what? In saliva. Properties. We produce around 100 to or 1,000 or 1,500 mils per day. This is the pH of saliva. It means it's slightly acidic. Specific gravity 1.002 to 1.012 mc2. Functions of saliva. What is the function of saliva? We already talked about the parts of the oral cavity, like the tongue. We say the tongue is important for tasting, but the tongue cannot taste anything once the food is not mixed with saliva. This is so it helps in what? In the tasting. Because it moistens the food, and the food is able to go on the papillae, and the papillae is now able to taste whether this is salt, sweet, sour, depending on what we talked about, depending on the papillae of the what? Of the tongue. We have digestion. Because of what? The enzymes we have talked about. The amylase, lipase, and others. Majorly, digestion is very important. Buffering. We talked about the acid. We talked about acids which are important in producing dental caries. We shall talk about the dental caries in our next video. But we said what makes dental caries, or how dental caries come about, is the production of acid, and the acid is from fermented carbohydrates or some fermented sugars, and it is always in the oral cavity. So when we have saliva plenty in the oral cavity, saliva helps to dilute. By diluting the other acid, it means it's now going to become harmless, and therefore we are saying a buffering what? Action. It dilutes the saliva, and saliva becomes less acidic or alkalinic, and therefore harmless to the tooth. Cleansing action. The importance of saliva is that the moment we have saliva in the oral cavity, it can also cleanse, reduce on the amount of food in the oral cavity. Saliva is important. Lubrication. As we are talking, it helps to lubricate the what? To moisten the oral structures and enable functions of the oral cavity to take place very well. Mineralization. Because of these minerals, we shall have addition of minerals to the tooth. So the addition of minerals on a tooth is called remineralization. We shall also find out that there is always demineralization caused by the other acid we talked about that causes dental caries. So here we shall have remineralization, meaning it is going to also equally help in preventing cavities on teeth, because the acid, rather the minerals, will continuously go or bathe the tooth, adding themselves on the tooth, and therefore that is called re-addition of mineralization of minerals on the tooth. Very important. We have also antibacterial effects and fungal effects and viral effects because of what? Of the composition of saliva. Saliva is very important. We shall talk about more of the role of saliva in dental caries. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you for watching.